Alrighty folks, good morning. Welcome back to another vlog. I think this is where we might be starting it off, I'm not sure yet. It is, what are we on now? 7:46, 8:46 in the morning, and we're frozen up solid here. As you can hear, I've got a bit of cold, maybe man flu, so I'm lucky to be alive. But yeah, need to get up to HQ here. We've got the painters in. We've joiners coming back now to do another bit of additional work, which will highlight another date, and then we have to get back down now for a couple of two solicitor meetings back to back, an accounts meeting with our current accounts, and then an accounts meeting with a new account provider, a new accounting company that we need to bring on board to get things sorted out to the level we need it done at. And then just the usual, dealing with the usual aftermath left by staff. I don't know, I don't get it. But anyway, we always look on the positive side where as and when we can. And then back down to Enniskillen office, our new Enniskillen offices through Smyth Enterprises to get a couple of meetings out of the way. So, stand by, stand by. Guys, so I've had to strip down nearly because the heat is unreal. I absolutely roast, which is an absolutely fantastic thing, but yeah, all I can see in my mind is all the oil that has been poured and wasted as well. Right, so let's get a bit of an update. I've even got the mic on like a real YouTuber. Give me a second. Right, let's get logged in here. So what's been happening? Well, it's been the usual nightmares as usual. I've just an office full of public inquiry work, court work. I have even court work against ourselves. We've yet another small claims court in from a clown of a lad that came in to do a bit of work for us, non-skilled, no ability, all the usual crack, begging to be trained, justifiable, couldn't do the job, and now he's tried to go down this route. Now, of course, the problem with going down this route is when you do that against somebody, especially like ourselves, you know, we have to counterclaim then as well because it's defamation of character, because the information is incorrect, it's fabricated, and you know the lies that are within his claim. So, you know, a simple phone call would have cured this and sorted this out. That's why then people want to go. People like that are always like that. You know, if I might be shouting here because I forget the mic on, but people like that will always be like that. And if you do a bit of digging, go back to their history and go back to things they've done, it's all the same. It's all the same. Listen, it is what it is. And that's what we have to deal with as business owners day in and day out. So with our own stuff, with everybody else's stuff, and the bottom line is, it is what it is. Time to pack up. Next job now is in Dublin. I have to get to Dublin for a client, and they're in a couple of issues with their basic transport compliance. And as I say, and as you all know, would have heard me say on many a time, the likes of November is always a really good time for us, because we sit down and weed out the rot, not only with staff and partners and providers, but with clients as well. So we look at the clients who hold the standard, and if they hold the standard, we love work with them, and we'll continue to work with them. So it gives us the time to pivot and reset, as I like to call it. And that's exactly what we do. We look at their needs and their wants. We look at their standards within their business. We look at the accountability, what we call a CAP, which is the client accountability person. It's the person that's accountable within their company, which nearly everybody forgets about or fails. And I'm going to keep this bit in here, guys, because I am actually sweating. I'm sweating like a pregnant nun. The heat's that unreal. Anyways, yeah, I'll keep chatting here because we need to get going. Right, laptops, notebooks, charger, mouse pad. So yeah, we decide then what clients we're going to keep, what clients we're going to keep on for 2026. We have a list of jobs, new clients looking to come on board, that we have to really analyse them. Again, you know, for years we've been flat out, and we're flat out. Like at the moment, I was chatting to somebody yesterday that kept contacting us over December, and none of our staff would get back to them. I'd went back to them, sort of thing out. But what they were looking for, we cannot touch that in 2026. There's no way we can even get them on to our schedule. So even when we have clients that are with us, you know, X amount of years as a CCA client or retainer client, and they don't hold a standard, well then we have to eradicate them too, because that's all you have in life. Remember, don't operate rules, operate standards. And if we have the founders of the business, the owners of the business, and it leaks down into management, down into the ordinary worker on the floor, and there's no standards, then it's no good. What we find is almost all the time the founder of the business, their standards will be so high, it'll be perfect. They'll try and get people on board. You might have one or two people with the same standards, and then it starts to drop. A business owner is different. Somebody who just started a business and repeated what everybody else is doing. They usually look the path of least resistance, and they'll just try and copy people and do what they want to do. So usually there's not much standards in them businesses. Yes, you might have the basic accreditation standard, but that's just an audit once a year, once 5 years, tick a couple of boxes. It holds no relevance. And so we have a couple of damn good clients, and their standards are just there all the time. And then we have another couple of clients who their standards are on the ground, and they're dropping and dropping. And we're meeting with these guys all the time. And 2026, in the first quarter, it's very important for us to touch base with all these guys, because what happens there is that their standards as the founder or the owners of the business, they're not seeing what's failing. So it's up for us then to go in and implement our CAP, which is our client accountable person, and hold that person accountable. Now, when we talk about accountability, guys, we're also talking about full support. That's the thing, it's very easy to record everything and monitor it, because what you do not measure, you cannot improve. And when we look at these tasks, which we put into a task management system, is that sometimes they don't know how to do it, sometimes they can't do it, sometimes the time scale isn't realistic. It's like saying to somebody, right, go out and cut down all the trees around this site, and then they give them a bread knife. You know what I mean? There's contributing factors to everything. And if we can then monitor and assess it very quickly, which we do through our accountability program, then we can see actually you've been given the top of the range chainsaw, and you've given all the equipment, you've been given all the time to do it, and you as a human have failed. And that's where the main issues come from. Or another side of the coin is, here's all the resources, here's all the authorization, here's all the permissions. Go out and get an external provider that's going to come in and do all the chainsawing for you. And that external provider is the failure point. And this is why accountability runs through everything that should be done. So that's quick ranting off. I need to get out of here because I am absolutely sweating, and I need to get up the road to Dublin. So touch base in a bit. Alrighty, folks, what is happening? It is 4:10. We need to leave. Where are we at the minute? I'm actually in Cavan here at the moment. Out with a client here in Cavan, and then over at the NCT Centre for a quick meeting. So we need on the road now, heading down near Athlone. I think it's maybe 20 mile on this side of Athlone. First client then in Athlone tonight for yet another transport and management compliance training, including workshop staff. So that's actually in the evening time. Should make it okay. It'll be from 7 till 10 o'clock usually. Then boys sit chatting. Which they'll probably bring it a wee bit later. And then down to Moat the next morning for an on-site continuous support service that we provide. And that is it. So looking a wee bit rough, as you might see. We have been absolutely flat out, but stay tuned in this video to find out why we've been so flat out. Stand by. Alrighty, folks, good morning. It is 8:30. We are down here in Athlone and about to jump in on site here with a client, but been sitting here on the side of the road from 7:20, video call after video call after video call after video call. And that's the problem with technology. It's absolutely fantastic, but it doesn't give you much time to escape, I think maybe is the word. But the beauty of it is it allows us to do our usual daily routine of client check-ins and staff check-ins, and things can progress forward a lot quicker. Now, only problem is with a couple of them, some serious issues with their operator's license or transport compliance, etc., which I'll go in later in this video. I might try and do a sit down in the office at some stage when I get back up. But yeah, it is an absolutely beautiful, wet and windy morning, and we're just about 4 kilometers away here from the site. So need to get in on site, be here all day, sort these things out, and then try and get back up the road tonight to HQ for tomorrow, which is another back to back day. And there's so much office stuff at the moment, guys, that I prefer to show the stuff that's out in sight, but then we go out in sight and then we can't show stuff. This weekend we've I think there's 2 planned health and safety inspections. One is a health and safety inspection, and one is a alcohol and drugs testing job on the Saturday evening. So our partners Randox, we've all sorted out here of what we need to do and how we need to do it, and hopefully it'll go okay. But as you know from any of the videos, we have never done one yet with an all clear, which is mad. Right, let's get out of here. Now, that's us on the final leg. Coming back through Listaski, heading to HQ, and I'll drop this man off here in the van. I've no mic on. Actually, I've no mic on, so you should be fit to hear me on the new DJI. But yeah, we're going to pull into HQ. This guy's going to get his car, and then I have a meeting that a guy said he will be here. So we've just checked the camera, and he is at the yard. So we'll open the gate, let him in, and then we will rendezvous. Alrighty. Glad to get home here finally. Let's get this right. Let's get in here, get all read up, get you pushed out here to get away, and then we shall go in and sort this man out here. He's actually in a problem over cabotage rules, believe it or not, between his base in Newry and Dublin port. So bit of a handling, but stand by. Alright, bud, see you later. Alrighty guys, so as per usual, didn't record anything else. When I got to Belfast, it was completely back to back, and extremely productive day. Some fantastic new contacts as well throughout the day, with hopefully some of our new authorised and approved APAs, and with 3 new clients yesterday, 2 that I've worked with before that we ended services because their standards did not align with what we do. They've massively improved. They've taken a new senior management, which is evident, so that's really positive for their side of things, but we can now progress on with them. And then also finished up last night at the beta meeting event, the beta, which I think I said in yesterday's clip, British and Irish Trade Alliance. So yeah, some absolutely fantastic people there, some new contacts, some hopefully new synergies that we can grow on, and network with, possibly partner up with, or just refer other people to them. So yeah, this was all about. Anyway, it is Friday morning. I am on my way to DVA in Hydebank to the HQ for a couple of interesting meetings. So I'll pick it up after that, if I remember to lift the camera.
He believed they also did a few series about it, trying to.
Alrighty folks, good morning. Welcome to this absolutely beautiful wet morning in Belfast, just going by the falls. Just heading out here towards Duncrew to Fort Williams Docks to conduct a driver assessment. It is currently 10 minutes past 5 in the morning, so actually made damn good time coming up the road. Couple of phone calls, banged out nearly all the voice notes that I needed to bang out. I'm around here, you probably can't see me. That's why I was doing the road footage, but put on a bit of light cab action. Anyway guys, good morning and welcome to this new vlog, which I don't know, I might have said that yesterday. I was trying to start off yesterday on a Sunday evening and things got a bit mad as per usual. So yeah, we're gonna head up here now for a 6 AM kickoff driver assessment. Now this here is for, close that window, this here is for a insurance driver assessment, so every year and 2 years, depending what company we're with. So this particular client, their insurance requirements every 2 years, so we will manage their training matrix as well most of the time to make them aware of it. But to be fair, Suzanne, who is the managing director and runs the whole place very effectively and very efficiently, she's straight on to us every time. So we have a couple of new driver assessments to do, which to be fair, it's now February 2026. We are booked out solid because they're such an important repeating customer. We will drop all to try and facilitate it. So as I say, 6 o'clock driver assessment this morning is all we could do to get them squeezed in. But again, I use the word squeezed, and the driver assessment will be done at the same level and the same standards as we always do it. So if it's one of the guys I've done before, you might think that makes it easier, but not really, because we have to throw a wee bit of spice into it to make sure that he's at the required standards. And then the new driver assessments, well, they're always a lot tougher at times, obviously at times, because very quickly you know if somebody can drive. And remember guys, this isn't all like, yes, we're master driver trainers, but this isn't all about you know, are you a better driver than somebody else. It's all about the consistency of competency. And I would have put a video out years ago where I've often been on a driver assessment, we get the guy nice and chilled out and relaxed, and then, you know, 20 minutes into the drive he's sitting there in the middle of a driver assessment on his phone texting or whatever it is, you know, or very poor signals and mirrors and manoeuvres, and, you know, vehicle sympathy is always an issue. A lot of guys don't know how to use retarders and exhaust brakes and stuff that just personally kills me as well about different things. But anyway, bang into quick driver assessments this morning, one for this client here, Duncrew Food Processors, and then another one for a company, I don't really want to say their name, they're a big multinational company, and we do stuff in the background for them. We don't put any social media up, so I'll not even mention their name, but I have a driver assessment to do there. Guy who's ex-military, so that's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough one. Obviously there's very little experience, if any, in HGV driving, despite having the license for so long. But anyway, stand by. So we have a lot of work on this week as well regarding our industrial safety and supplies, which I'll try and give you some information about this week. But we have a couple of maintenance providers to touch base with, because we source and supply all lubricants and chemicals and oils, degreasers, all that sort of crack as well. So yeah, a lot of guys don't know that, so we will talk about it. Alrighty, let's get in here to, if you watch any of my other videos, because we be in this location on a regular basis, you'll see from fleet inspections to driver assessments, but we do give out about the amount of stuff parked around this place, and you know, some places are tight enough to get into without all that. Righty, let's see which man we're in and which vehicle we're in. Log on to the job and log off the job and start time, finish time, travel time, all that stuff that people forget about, but we don't here within Shadow Accountability. Last thing you want to do as the driver assessor is hit a wall. Right guys, touch back in a second. Alrighty guys, so it is nice and fresh this morning, if nothing else. As I talk to myself as usual, at 5:20 in the morning. Right, let's get a bit of PPE on here, get some safety boots on, and get our digital devices ready for assessment. And no matter how good your systems are, it's always backed up with the paper bit, and I know that's counterproductive, but what happens is that tablets and all that we have, and phones, and these, you know, bigger phones that open up so we can do our crack on, they're a great job, and internet signal in most places aren't too bad. However, there are times that is absolutely pissing out of the heavens, and although paper can get wet as well, obviously, sometimes you just need that backup. But when you're used to it, you know exactly what you're looking for. So I can take a couple of pictures on my phone and I'll be fit to fill out the, I know it's 36 bits of documents for these driver assessments, and just get enough information from them to do it, and then get the signatures from the guys. So let's get a look, see what vehicles are present today. Yes sir. Alrighty, so we don't have a specific fleet number or trailer number here this morning, but yeah, I'm not actually totally sure. If I see the driver, if it's a driver on a renewal, then I usually know which vehicle he's in. But they have a mixture of Merc and Volvo, unless obviously they have a vehicle in for a changeover vehicle, you know. It's in for maintenance. So it could be this lady here, because it's not hooked anything. So it could be in this one, or the Volvo. So yeah, could be in either the FH Volvo or the wee Mercedes Actros. And we'll see what the crack is. They're all 6x2s, which is good, because when we run through axle weights, axle configurations, being able to read the weight plates, understanding payload, understanding weight distribution, what else? Yeah, weight distribution from lift axle to drive axle, diff locks, ABS, EBS, all that sort of good stuff. It all depends on the configuration of the truck and the trailer. So we get the guys up to speed if they don't know. Right. Let's see, can we get up and going here. Alrighty, folks. Can't click every trip. That's the second one done. Let's get on the road first here, because I need to get the hell out of here. So, this first one this morning, absolutely no problem. A guy that I actually done the inductions with several years ago, and done his first 2 year, I think, driver renewal assessment, and then he went away from the company, I went to one of the bigger boys of general haulage and came back with a lot of corrective training needed, should we say. Just doing the UK and English work, you know. Same story again. Into one of the big boys, no training, no induction, no assessments, and anything you did get, just complete box ticking exercise, as he says himself. So it's always good to hear when you get certain drivers, you know, at certain levels who are actually positive about assessments. It's always a good bit of feedback. But yeah, but then I got him through, no problem, good lad, not an issue. And then the second one I went out to, the one that I'm just finishing up here, well, the first thing is that the manager had said to me before I was leaving, he says, oh, I thought that was kicking off a wee bit. I thought there was going to be a bit of an issue there, a bit of a row. He says, why, what do you mean? The guy just, you know, he made it with the skin of his teeth, but only on the second go. And he said to me that he was in the office and he could hear me roaring and shouting at the guy, and I didn't even remember this, to be honest. But apparently I was roaring and shouting at him, and he was asking me why, and I couldn't really remember, so I called the guy over myself. And then I remembered when I was speaking to him, this guy was trying to, which is just a complete pet hate of mine, from being an automotive and fleet engineer to just basic driver to basic fleet management, is that he was trying to pull out of a trailer and not let the air down, you know, just pull straight out, hook out the pin, legs just at basic level and pull on out, not understanding that when he pulls out from under the rubbing plate, the trailer's going to shoot up that wee bit because of the air pressure in the rear bags. And I just hate that, like, you know, you're pulling wing tops off, your mud guards off. It's just, you know, I've seen it bust tail lights. It's just an absolute disaster. But anyway, so apparently I was roaring and shouting at him about this here. He was like, get there down, stop there out. So yes, you have two avenues of it, and the driver did make a good point to me. He says, but then what happens is, you know, I've seen that done before, and they go across the yard and they lift another trailer and the mud guards are rubbing the wheels. And I says to him, no sir, no. We drop the air, not dump out fully, we drop the air till the pressure is off. To really what we want is the fifth wheel coming back onto the level pivots, pull out nice and easy, and then hit ride position. One button, it'll self-level, and then we move on to the next trailer. So yeah, apparently I must have been roaring shouting about this, because it is an absolute pain point of mine. It still happens to this day, which you wouldn't surprise it. And I remember back in the day, sound like an old man now, back in the day when we were running about with just parabolic springs and you know, 4 or 5 leaf springs in the rear of a truck, and you were taking a run at a trailer, especially if the trailer was lower than the tractor unit. You know, you had to take a run at this trailer to get it to bounce up into the fifth wheel. Or even worse again, when you went to hook into a trailer that was dropped too high, so whoever hooked out of it had it far too high in the legs, and there's no way that you can raise that suspension up to meet the rubbing plate, and you're sitting there in low gear trying to wind this down. And anyway, the guys in the industry will know what I'm talking about, other guys won't. And it's interesting I talk about this, because what I should do is be doing a video when I'm talking about legs and fifth wheels and rubbing plates and pins and parabolic springs and suspension, and I will do that, because you might find it interesting and you mightn't. Nobody really cares. Anyway, we need to get to the next job here, guys. So yeah, that's 2 done, and it is 10 to 9 now. So we're doing well. And I'm in the wrong road here. I need to go back out the outer ring. So I'm trying to navigate in around Hollywood here to try and miss traffic where I can. And we have to go up to Hyde Bank as well, up to DV enforcement. I think it might have been another clip from last week, but we were meeting to conduct there. Anyways, that is the plan at the minute, guys. So I'm sore all over when we do that stuff. So hopefully you can hear me without the microphone on, or the mic's on, because we shouldn't be too bad in this vehicle here with the bulkhead that's behind me and all the equipment that we have in the rear of the van. So it's going to be a hell of a long day, and we will try and vlog as much as we can, because
people be interested. So I don't know if we'll record that or not. We have a meeting in a hotel here as well, which has changed twice. I'm going to have to scoot in here because I have another client to go and see down in Diageo, and can I squeeze that in today? See, this is the problem you're out in the road, guys. You're trying to squeeze in everything back to back to back to back to back, but also, you know, try and spend as much time as I can with their retainer and loyal clients that have been with us a long time, because obviously we are obsessed with their business as well as our own. We just, you know, love their growth, love their stability, love their consistency, and you know, that relationship's there a long time. I have a lot of clients, a high amount of our clients that have been with me since I started, which now through TCTS Group as in the limited company, that's 12 years. So yeah, just you know, I love everything they do. And people ask me this a lot of the time, especially guys who have maybe worked for us for a period of time. They're very surprised at how long we've been with clients, or how long clients have been with us, but we've been every step of their journey, from starting off as a small company to blowing it up into a massive company, and vice versa, from coming from a very large successful company and filtering everything back down to 1 or 2 employees only, just because of contributing factors with industry. And like, transport is a race to the bottom, that's just factual. And you know, for companies that might be manufacturing, like where was this morning, there was a manufacturing food processing company, and you know, they're doing fantastic. But again, when COVID hit, you just don't know, like, there's contributing factors within the economy all the time. And because we are in such unstable times, and because we have the weakest government that we have ever had since records began, it's just going to get worse and worse. And that inconsistency and that you know, lack of stability is affecting the marketplace in so many different markets. And because we're in so many different sectors, it's so interesting, although depressing at times, but it's so interesting to see. Good lad, come on ahead, sir, come on ahead, and whenever you want, halfway in the road. It's so interesting to see that it affects so many industries. So you just can't say there's a downturn in construction and engineering and transport and logistics and 3PL and 4PL and engineering. You know, it's the same thing all around. So another quick meeting that I've squeezed in this evening before I get the boat to Liverpool, I've him squeezed in at 8 o'clock, is actually a guy that started off, I don't know if I'll get a bit of social media with him or a bit of content. He started off with a what do you call that kind of van? Ford Connect. And this is the Ford Connect. No, it wasn't a Ford Connect. It was a Peugeot Partner, I'm going to say. Anyway, started off with a small van, and then that increased then into, I think then he went for a Transit, and then after that he went into a Volkswagen Crafter, and then that went into a Mercedes Sprinter. And when he was running a Mercedes Sprinter, he thought he had made it. And then he ran from that then into, I think, 4 Sprinter type vans. Then we went into Luton vans and 7.5 ton rigids, and now Arctic and trailers. And he's got delivery of 4 new Volvos and 4 brand new SDC curtain side trailers. So again, you know, I just love all that. I love the growth and the passion. And we went from no operator's licensing to operator's license to an international operator's license, etc, etc. Anyway, I have a call coming in here now, so we will touch base on that point later. Alrighty folks, so not sure if you can even hear me. No mics in me, bit of romantic music here in the hotel. Finished up for, what's that, so many hours back to back to back to back. It is now 7:15, and finished up there with our second last meeting. Another meeting coming in here now at 7:30. Hopefully, well, that said, time limiting it for 8:30 at the latest, and then over to Stanley.
to get the boat out to Liverpool. Now, it's done that. I haven't got any notifications lately. Oh, there's there. Usually that's when I know it's not booked right, but Belfast, Liverpool sailing, check-in closes 1 hour before departure. Check-in up at 9:30, check-in closes at half 7, open 9:30. Okay. So that is the plan of action. Did I get any content today at all? Can't remember. I think I did actually. I think I got some out on site with the first and second driver assessment. But anyway, get about to eat here and then we will get out of here. It's a long day. What time did I leave the house this morning? 3 o'clock, up at 3 o'clock, and then leave the house 3:30, 4:45. And it is now 7:15. Oh, the joys. Right. I'll chat to you when we get to the boat. If I remember. Oh. Alrighty, folks. It is now 8:30, and we need to get the hell out of here, meet the boat. We're only heading out to Fort Williams docks, but you know the crack, you could be caught in any sort of traffic. It is absolutely freezing here. Nice to get a bit of fresh air through me after being a long day, but let's get in here. Alrighty, folks, it is absolutely freezing. Stuck in hotel half the day and running no sleep. Probably doesn't help. It's telling me here, be careful, black ice. Oh, charming. Oh, gee, Mike, it's 1 degree at this moment, so I'll leave that on for a wee second. Oh man, come on man, look at how dittery, old farts, just out for an old socialising night and nothing being done. Righty, folks, we need to bang it over here to Stanley to get the, this is what, 10:30 boat? 10:30 boat from Belfast to Birkenhead. So what is the best way around here actually? Let me see. Before we head to the old Stena line, you probably can't see much through the window due to the condensation. Let me see. Whoa! Seriously, folks, it is absolutely freezing. We're just leaving the Starmount Hotel, which, as a lot of you know, seems to be one of my main hunting grounds, and we're dealing with some peeps. So it's not even spelled right. Anyway, we're going to run down here onto D Street, hang a right, and hopefully bring ourselves up and round. If I can remember correctly, is that right? Can I do it that way? I can, then out onto the M2 or the M3 to merge into the M2. So there's actually a van there, Motorcycle Transport UK and Ireland. So if a lot of you know, or maybe you don't know, that Lee Johnson actually is involved in a bit of motorcycle recovery for an insurance company. So we might get him in the old YouTubes and have a chat with him about that sometime. But that guy, that van in front of me, I actually met that on the boat several times. So if you know who it is, drop us a wee comment down below as well. So guys, just on that note about dropping a wee comment, I might have said at the start of this video, and hopefully I did, but a massive thank you to each and every one of you who have subscribed to the channel, who follow us, who like, dislike, leave a comment, don't leave a comment, just do something. But more importantly, we have a massive volume of people who are watching our vlogs,
and you aren't subscribed yet, so it's absolutely free. Click the wee subscribe button and follow the craziness that we'll be up to on a regular basis. Remember, this is TCTS Group channel, and I have also Stephen Smyth channel, which still, I think this is probably the third vlog I've set it in, and still no videos on it really, but we're going to change that about, put a bit of not so much personal stuff in it, but there's a lot of other things that we do that, yes, they might be business related somewhere, but between boating and camper vans and out and about, I think now in a couple of months' time we're back into Europe, where we'll be, I believe, doing, I don't even know what she's planned at the minute. I think we're doing back in Spain, France, and then Switzerland maybe. Oh, look at this clown here. Oh, hello God. Oh. Anyway, sorry. So yeah, we do a lot of bits and pieces all over the place, so stay tuned and see what the crack is. We did have footage up of some of our property development that was going on, and somebody asked me recently, well before Christmas, about when we done the renovations in Belfast several years ago, a lot of years ago, but the apartments beside me were getting done up, and they thought we were at that again. I was asking why we weren't filming it, and something like that was absolutely fantastic at the time. Not financially, by the way, but they were really, really good. Like, they're really in depth, and between costings and getting the right people and all. And then in round HQ, where we have documented a good bit of it. A lot of it's on our social platforms such as TikTok. You get the information in there, you'll see what we've been up to in there. But as I say, hopefully we're coming back into the summertime. We have some boats to put on the water, we have some boats for sale, we have some sports cruisers for Airbnbs, we have another very a bit of an awesome project in the background that is probably at the moment a secret project, because we have some legalities to sort out, and then that could be very, very, that is interesting actually. So we'll see what the crack is. Right, I need to concentrate what I'm doing here, guys, because we need to get out here. You think of all the time in the world when you do a late shipment out, but it doesn't be long. Going in fast. Right, but that is all. High on the windscreen, but it actually is, because the old suction mount is in the road. So let's see what the story is here with these guys. You alright, mate? How are you? That's me. How's it going? Alright? Good man. Cheers. Cold? How about you?
So you've got, can't just see that, mate.
So as you know, always trying to juke about. Always trying to hook and juke to try and not have to pay the bigger costs. We got away with it again. He's right enough when you go up through the ramp. Now, have I had this van on? I'd say we've had these vans on regular, but I'm thinking now it could have been the transporters with no beacons on the roof. Need to get on the phone here because I have a number of very, very time critical calls to make, and I will come back to you shortly. Alrighty, folks, let's embark to the belly of the beast. I know there's certain people absolutely love when I say that. Time to get on here, guys. It definitely is after, what's that there, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's what? What's that, 22 hours on the go? As we get ready to make like shit and get the flock out of here. So as I was saying, guys, yes, jump onto our website and go into services across the top, our services, or on the main page, the home page. Scroll down a wee bit and hit our services, and that's where you will find, scroll on down and get our industrial safety supplies. Sorry, just looking at this guy here. Industrial safety supplies for all your supply needs, everything from chemicals and lubricants and oils and PPE, first aid kits, fire extinguishers, you name it, end-to-end solution, sir. And Sirette, probably, sorry, that's that too, 'cause you know what the country's like. So, back in here to the old, beastie. Definitely does look right. You anywhere to go? Alrighty, folks, this is it. Get into the old jail bed. I can't see nothing out there. Alrighty, it is time for bed. Grab a shower first, maybe. Grab a quick shower first, maybe, instead of the morning. But let's see what the crack is. Right, I'll chat you in the morning, or whenever I remember to record the rest. Good night.
To kindly start to vacate your cabin, taking with you all your personal belongings. As any passengers occupying cabins, to now kindly start to vacate your cabin. Remain seated until a further announcement is made regarding your disembarkation. Can we ask all passengers with pets
Alrighty, folks, good morning. Good morning. This is what, 5 hours after the last clip or so, and we have just arrived in Birkenhead. Time is 6:20 in the AM. So it's now Tuesday morning and another packed out day. Back to back. You know something? You don't mind that. That's no issue. And I was just saying to one of our guys last night in Belfast that it's all the other stuff that comes with it. If you could just go out on site and get the job done without having the whole business side of it and the senior management stuff and the business owner problems and issues and challenges, then it's just an extremely enjoyable job. But yeah, we say that all the time. And then I was chatting to a couple of people yesterday to different meetings, and we had guys in wanting to meet up to chat about work, and from a APA point of view or from a part-time or freelance point of view, and it's the same thing. Like, everybody's mad to come on board and they think this is a glamorous life of what we do at times. And that's what people will say to us. They say we'll follow you on social media and everything that you do and everything you're involved in, it's so interesting, and I'd love to do that. So there's just an example. 19-hour day yesterday. By the time I got to the boat, which was the end of the day, and then by the time I got on the boat and all that crack, what's that? 6 hours then. 6 hours off, but what? 3 hours sleep maybe? 4.5 hours off. And now we'll go the day again. So today, if everything was running nice and smooth and easy, it's going to be minimum of 15 hours a day because of the way it's booked out. So yeah, my point is, even if you were doing it at that level, it's a hell of a lot easier when you're just there as a staff member to do that particular job. It's a different world. Anyways, What's these guys at here now? What's going on here, boys? Or, must be bands or something. Is it band equipment? Oh, bonjour. Let me see now. Good morning. Oh, flip. So I was to see what's going on in here, boys. Eh? Beg my pardon. So that's the plan of action, guys, and we are also doing a bit of on-site compliance management training, and it's an end-to-end product, you know, from the start to the finish, which will include training the compliance manager up on not only their compliance manager duties, but literally the practical bit. So from building out the company induction, the whole way through to onboarding, test drives, daily walk around check training, load security, the management of SOPs, the management of assets, the the onboarding and training of drivers on their initial start, as well as the refresher training. And that's going to be a couple of days doing that. Tachograph management training, you know, on site, on the job training, and it's the only way this can ever be done, because, you know, death by PowerPoint in the classroom doesn't work. It doesn't work anywhere else that I've ever seen it. The way we do it is completely different and unique, hence why we are where we are in this industry. But it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work, time, effort and dedication. And yes, we do create training courses and SOPs and management templates. We do go into accountability training at a very high level, and we just sell the package out. However, to me, that's absolutely no good. It all depends on the client. Alright, bud. How's it going?
Okay?
Good, mate, good.
You're alright, straight ahead, mate.
Good, man. Alrighty, folks, we are out in sight now. Back out at Hendricks Logistics UK, as we bang out a bit of training. So I'm going to hook this wee tractor unit into a trailer. I don't have the mic on, which you should have, but anyways, the problem with doing this sort of work is, and people wanting vlogs out, is that it's just not that simple to do it all, because obviously the focus is on the client getting the job done. Let's just see what this vehicle here. Okay, so I'm going to hook this trailer up, put it out into a designated safe zone in the yard, and we're going to get this type of training done first. So stand by. Oh, alrighty, folks, it is absolutely for a reason. Over here in Liverpool, just another client site visit to sort out. Yeah, so what was I even saying there? Yeah, another client visit to sort out. So from today, from transport operators with box trailers, curtain siders, taunt liners, tankers, skelly trailers, just never stops. But we'll only get you in the cradle. I don't know what the last clip was there, but we're back in the van and we're heading for near enough Essex, just southeast of London from Liverpool here, so probably 4.5 hours 4.5 hours drive of good traffic. So it is now nearly 5 p.m. and we're probably going to hit the whole traffic as per usual. However, what is it, midterm break, so we're not so bad from a school point of view earlier on, but again it is 5 o'clock, so although we could blow down the road here as hard as we could for an hour or even half an hour, we're going to meet traffic somewhere along the line. So I've fired out a couple of voice notes for clients to come on for phone calls or Teams meetings, and then I have a Teams meeting with some of our guys to pick up on operations and service delivery. So we'll get that done. So it's never really, I always say, you know, we try and make the time as productive as we can. However, no matter where we are in the UK and Ireland, it all bloody depends on the phone network. Believe it or not, even in 2026 we're still struggling with phone network. So let me get this place up in the old satellite navigation, which is going to be here at not too bad, 282 miles to go. So about, what's that coming up as here at the minute? Now it's saying 4 hours and 8 minutes, so that's never going to happen because of the traffic. However, we keep going. Right, I'll touch base with everybody later on. Also, what I'm going to say is that oh, there's that guy, construction guy that we meant to go back to their operator's license and training, video training for SOPs and documented policy and procedures for load security for his wee diggers and his wee plant. I say wee, I mean mini diggers, mini plant, for a contract that he has. Another client on there this evening that we only do Tachograph. They're a basic analysis customer and they're looking for remote downloading and all that crack, but in the middle of the conversation they were asking us about environmental policies for a contract that they have coming up and certain SOPs that they don't, and risk assessments that they don't have in place at all. So we're just going to have to make this happen for them, really. So that guy's letting me out, good lad. And what else was I going to say there, guys? Sorry, I might have said earlier in the video, but I want to put out a massive thank you to everybody who has subscribed to our channel. And as I may have said already, that we have so many guys watching our stuff and you have not subscribed yet, so I would really appreciate it. I would love it if you'd hit the subscribe button, follow us along, follow our journey. Don't forget we have Stephen Smyth channel as well on YouTube. I don't know why I say that, because there's nothing on it at the minute. There might be 1 or 2 videos, but yeah, a lot of stuff coming this year in 2026. We have so much on, it's not even solid, and we're going down different routes as we continue our full reset and pivot within the business. And again, our industrial safety and supplies division is just getting legs all the time. So again, I didn't realise that people did not realise that we done things like that, and our dedicated sourcing division within that with our partners gives us just more reach, because our partners then obviously they have their team of staff and associates, so we're all coming together. Right, what else was I going to say? Yeah, so massive thank you to everybody on all our platforms, you know, our Facebook, our TikTok, our LinkedIn. Like LinkedIn, to be honest, guys, and I've said this many a times, and I put my hands up here because I have to take accountability myself, is that I cannot keep on top of the messages on LinkedIn. I've put staff on it at times, and sure, they're just making a bigger mess of it because they can't answer and progress the questions, the answer to the questions, so they end up coming back to me, so I might as well just do it myself. So definitely struggling. If you email in to info@tctsgroup.com or any of our just quick links, well then our team will get back to you. But if you're looking directly information from myself, well then this is where just time is not on my side at all. Get out around you. But again, a massive thank you to everybody for your support and following us. And you know, I made a statement to several people last year as well that a good 80% of our work, our new work coming in, is all through social media. And to be fair, people follow us for a long time. Like LinkedIn, for example, people will have followed us there for a long time, and they're sitting there with a dedicated 6, 8, 10 years of constant evidence of work and what we do and the level we run at. So out of the 30 years of doing it, you know, social media is only a new thing to us. But we have never paid one penny on marketing or advertisement in any way. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. We struggle to keep on what's coming in at the moment, but we have such a good filtering list of standards that it's very easy to, you know, either not take on work for clients we don't want to work for, and to end services or terminate clients that don't want to set any standards. And there's never a falling out. I keep saying this. I have done work for thousands of clients that we don't work for anymore. Possibly public inquiry work, in chambers hearing, operators license, investigative work. And listen, there's never a falling out. If they want anything, they can come back to us as basic customer only. They will never really get on our retainer client list. And, you know, we just tell them outright, we don't want to do anything for you. And that's never a falling out, because, you know, a guy that I might have been to public inquiry 3 times with saved their whole livelihood and business, and, you know, and they'll come back to you, and they often say to me, but sure, we pay you whatever you have to get. And they do pay, most of them, and there's never an issue that way. However, you have to hold standards, and when you fall below them standards, you know, it's just, them businesses don't last long, and they're in the same place time and time and time again. So, as I say, there's never a falling out. Somebody comes for us after that and says, listen, we need forklift training or whatever, tachograph analysis or remote downloading or camera systems or tracking systems or, you know, digital platforms. No problem. Whatever. Life's too short.